everybody, and welcome to the Wednesday show. I'm Hammer, and I'm joined by my two favorite Wednesday show hosts, Genty Maxey.
Hello.
And Terry Diamantis.
Hello.
How you doing, Jen?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I am well. How you doing, Terry?
Standard. Tired, but otherwise fine.
Before we get to the topics, let's go ahead and see who's in chat tonight.
Yeah, over on Rumble, we've got Blue-Eyed Scream. We've got Green Badger, who may be indoors or outdoors. That is not yet confirmed. We have a lot of scrolling. Kevidan and Tier both joined us at similar times. And then more talking. Lots of talking. Casual also went right towards the end there. So that should be everyone. If I missed you, I do apologize.
Jen?
All right. Well, I'm going to start from the bottom. Hi, Blue-Eyed Scream. Hi, Miker. Hi, Rotten Corpse. Hi, Casual. Hi, Kevidan. Hi, Hammer.
Hello.
And there we go. That's it.
More people are rolling as we go. Let me cover the topics really quick. I have four, but I publicized three of them. Kings. I guess everyone's heard of the No Kings March.
Yes.
Suspiciously, it doesn't include anybody who's young or anybody who's of color. Number two is holding. The ceasefire in Israel holds despite Hamas attacks. That's been in the news. EC, the Electoral College. Dems introduce a bill to destroy it. Love that. And finally, the fourth is there's this woman, Lucy Martinez. You guys heard about this woman?
Nope.
Guy was driving by in a car during the protest, and she put a finger to her neck and simulated the idea of killing Charlie Kirk kind of deal.
Oh, no. I didn't know her name, but I saw that video, yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if that was the one you were talking about, so I didn't want to just assume.
Back and forth about whether or not she's been fired or not. Some people say no, some people say yes. According to Time Now News, she was fired.
Okay.
So they're the only source I could find that said that she was. Everyone else says that she's not. But they, you know, the timelines on Twitter and stuff, it's hard to tell how long ago and all that kind of stuff. So
right,
she may be fired by now, or she may still be. Supposedly, as I understand it, her principal is covering for her, saying that I talked to her and she's really sad and blah, 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 blah.
Not as sad as she's going to be. Get the fuck out.
We're hoping to see some pressure come down and get her fired, because that woman shouldn't be near any kids.
Nope.
I agree.
So I think things have died off because Charlie Kirk's assassination isn't as current as it was when it first happened. There was quite the outrage. So people now who are mocking him are starting to get away with it. And this is just another example.
Well, I mean, that's just the way it goes. Like, the more time passes, the less offensive it is to, like, if you make fun of Genghis Khan's death, no one gives a fuck because he's been dead for thousands of years. If you make fun of someone who died yesterday, that's a lot more impactful, because the people are still feeling the immediate effects of that loss. So that makes sense that, you know, as we move away from the actual event, the reaction is also decreasing.
The thing is, though, is they still keep forgetting that everybody has a cell phone. And a lot of them post this stuff online themselves because they're kind of stupid.
They're very stupid.
I still think that if you're an administrator or a government employee and you're posting that, no, I don't give a shit if you get fired. You practiced your free speech. Good for you. And it had some consequences, which that's still true. You know, like, it's not like the right doesn't get dinged for still saying shit online. They do.
I mean, I know the Lord disagrees with me, but I think you should be allowed to fire anyone for any reason. So if you want to fire someone because they made a comment and you don't want to associate with them any longer, I think you should be allowed to do that. But obviously, legally, like, there's restrictions on who you can fire and for what reason. But I don't think there should be. I think if you've hired someone, you can be like, you know what? No, I don't want to hire you anymore. I'm ending our business arrangement. If there's been a contract signed, then obviously you do have to either pay out the contract or let them stay until it ends. But yeah, you don't have to renew the contract. And if they're like just a regular employee, you can fire them for whatever reason you want, or should be able to.
Yeah. Well, most employees, or most people who are employed in the United States are called at-will employees. They can be fired at any time for any reason.
Yeah, it should be that.
I believe a company should have some kind of policy that says, if you bring shame on us, we'll fire you. That way, if they get fired, they don't try to fight it because they signed the contract that said, if you embarrass us, we'll fire you. So they have no legal recourse.
No, I agree. I think like if someone wears a blue shirt and you've just decided today, I don't like blue shirts. Yeah, that's a shitty way to run a business, but I still think, like, you know, if it's your company, you can be like, no, fuck blue shirts. I don't want to hire anyone who wears them. I think you should be allowed to be that arbitrary if you want. I just think your business is going to go under if you fire people for retarded reasons.
Well, the states are a very litigious country. So if you fire somebody because there's a blue shirt, they can bring charges saying, well, you never fired anybody else because they're a blue shirt.
Yeah, no, I get it. Like, I'm saying, the law does not agree with me. I'm saying that if I could set the laws, there would be, he didn't fire anyone else for having a blue shirt. All right, well, he introduced the policy today. Get out of here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think in Australia and in Canada, you guys don't have quite the bloodlust for suits.
The employee protections in Australia, you absolutely could not fire someone for a blue shirt. There is a lot of protection on that sort of thing.
Huh. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's why everything is so expensive. Is like, there's like high minimum wage. There's like impossible to fire people. Like, just to get rid of someone, you got to like give them 3 warnings. There's like all sorts of things like that. Yeah, it's very hard to fire someone for justified reasons, even in Australia. But I think it shouldn't be. I think it should just be like, yeah, fuck you. I don't like you anymore. Get out of here.
Yeah, that's definitely not true in the U.S. U.S. can fire anybody you want at any time. I mean, they might sue you, but that being aside, you can fire anybody you want at any time.
Yeah, I think it should be that.
There's always been a two-way when it comes to employers and employees. Like no, I don't like being taken so much advantage of that it's no longer worth the job. Obviously, I've quit because of stuff like that, but at the same time, though, I think they should have the right to fire people. And yeah, it sucks. I've been on the end where I've been fired, like everybody has been. But sometimes they do have to think of their bottom line, because they're not just paying for your services, they're paying for everybody else in the fucking business's services.
I mean, despite like my position, I did actually benefit from the retarded laws in Australia, because when I worked at the bank and they wanted to get rid of me, they had to give me $50,000 to get rid of me because of redundant, like making someone redundant. The law surrounding that, they had to give me like 50 grand. I mean, I got 50K out of it, but realistically, it should be like, no, fuck you, go away. If you just want to fire someone for no reason.
But like, here's the thing though, like, it is the problem where they've made it so like they're holding on to people that have obviously been causing problems.
Yeah.
And that causes problems for the other employees too.
It absolutely does.
It's a punishment for everybody else working there. And that's why I don't agree with that either. Like, if I'm causing problems to everybody else around me, they might still like me as a person, but I'm still causing them harm.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, that's what matters. And that sucks for me, but
I think whoever is paying the employee should have the right to discontinue the payments. Like, just say, look, I don't want to hire you anymore. Go away. But obviously that's not the situation. There's like a lot of laws against such things in Australia. But no, I think if it's your money, it should be your decision. If you're paying someone's salary, then you should have the right to say whether or not that continues.
Well, I've only quit once. Every time I've changed jobs, it's usually because I've been fired. But I've worked a lot of jobs, and a headhunter has come to me and said, I have a better opportunity for you. Interview with this group. And then I went with that group. But most of the time, I didn't move around a lot. I only had like 6 or 7 jobs. And,
I think I had 3.
Sorry, you had 3?
I had 3 jobs in my life.
Well, when I was young, I moved around a lot as far as going from job to job. But when I got older and I finally settled down with a Fortune 5 company, I retired from them. So I spent 13 years and retired early. So, but early in my career, I bounced around a lot, because that's in the United States. For you to really climb the ladder, you have to move around in jobs. You just can't sit there and wait for them to promote you. They're just not going to do that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So
I was just never ambitious. It was like I was getting paid enough to live on, so I didn't care. If I never got promoted, that's fine. I'll stay where I am.
I started at minimum wage, so
that's
ambition was a requirement. So but I did get to a job where I was providing technical support. I was a manager of our technical support group, so I had 6 people working for me, plus me, on the phones, remote support for proprietary hardware, security hardware. And we had people that we knew that were regular purchasers of our stuff, plus, people who came in and got one-offs and that kind of stuff. And this guy called me who had worked with our equipment before, and he was having a problem. And I said, well, just turn it off, turn it back on again. And he's like, why would you tell me to do that? And I says, well, I want to see how the system reacts. He says, I'll call you back. And he hung up. I thought, okay, he's going to turn it off, turn it back on, call me back when he has time to do it, or after it's back up. Called my manager instead. And complained to my manager that I was treating him like he didn't know anything.
That seems a bit unfair.
Well, I mean, for as much as I know, the first thing I do when I have a problem with my computer is I turn it off, turn it back on again.
I mean, there's a reason that's the joke. Have you tried turning it off and back on again? Because a lot of the time, that is a good first step.
Yeah. See if it repeats itself. If it happens again, okay, well, this is something that's not going away just from a reboot.
Yeah.
So my boss calls me into her office and says, this guy has complained about you, that you treated him like he was an idiot. And I said, well, good tech support means starting at the beginning and working your way into the problem. I says, for most people, I start at, did you turn it off, turn it back on again? She says, yeah, well, this guy is not a newbie. He kind of knows some of this. I said, well, he doesn't know as well as me. And she says, well, yeah, that's not the point. I says, if I know it is a 7, he knows it is a 6 or a 5. So I am the person who knows more than he does. He has to follow my diagnostic rules if he's calling us for help. And she says, well, he made a complaint. I filled out a form here, acknowledged the complaint. You have to sign it. And I looked at it and I was like, I'm not signing this. And she says, you have to sign it. I says, are you willing to lose me over it? And she says, well, and I was like, you got to make up your mind. I'm asking you a question. And she says, well, I don't want to lose you, but it's company policy that you have to sign a complaint when it's made. And I said, I'm not going to sign your complaint. I says, give me 2 weeks and I'll be gone. And I quit in 2 weeks. I gave her my 2 weeks notice.
I think the guy was 100% in the wrong, because all he had to say was, no, I've already tried that. I know a bit about computers. I already tried turning it off.
Yeah, I knew that he knew a bit. That wasn't really the point. It's just that,
no. But like, if he just said, I've already tried that, then you could say, oh, what was the result? Or could you do it again and let me know, or like whatever. But he didn't have to complain about you. He could have kept the conversation going quite peaceably, easily.
I don't blame him. There are dicks out there, and that's just the way it is. But I blame my manager. She didn't give me the benefit of the doubt.
Oh yeah. I mean, she's at fault too. But I don't think there was any grounds for the guy to complain. I think because he he has to assume that you give the same advice to everyone. Like you're not going to be like, oh, this is the guy with the 6 knowledge. I'll give him a different script. It's like, no, you just give the same script to everyone. And if they say, oh no, I've already tried that, then you can move on to the next step or ask him to repeat it or whatever.
It's also a lot of people forget to do that. Like people who are like very good with computers sometimes forget to do that. It is a
Absolutely.
you know, basic step that people forget. And like, so sometimes it's just, did you try that first? Just in case?
Yeah.
And then also, aren't there certain diagnostics that they do that you have to kind of restart your computer for anyway?
Yeah. But also, like, have you checked that it's plugged in? Like, if someone says, you know, my computer's not loading up, have you checked that it's plugged in? Like, even if that sounds retarded, sometimes it gets like the plug gets knocked out of the thing, and you just need to oh, yeah, someone must have unplugged it or it must have come loose. It's working now. Like that happens all the time.
Yeah. Well, in this case, I knew it was turned on because the problem was one of the cameras was kind of winking in and out. And
oh, okay. Yeah.
So I knew it was plugged in, or else you wouldn't have the cameras winking in and out.
No, true.
My first thing is turn it off, turn it back on, because if it's something related to static electricity or something like that, turning it off and on would make a big deal.
Yes.
But then my very next thing is take camera 6 and switch it with camera 7. Does the problem go with the camera or does it stay on the port?
Yeah.
You know, that kind of stuff. So there's a process for trying to determine what's going on, but you have to start at the beginning. I'm sorry if you feel you're above that, but that's the way it works. So.
Yeah. No, I don't think you did anything wrong. I think that is the sensible starting point. And
well, that's kind of how you bake a cake. If you don't crack the eggs first, it's going to be a little crunchy.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, THUR gets it. If you call for help, don't bitch when someone tries to give it to you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, very true.
So, yeah, it's one of the few times I actually quit.
Mm-hmm.
I've almost been fired and refused to be fired and remained working there. Like I was working for one of my best friend's father, and he said, I want you to take this 8-port switch to somebody's installation. They have an 8-port switch and they're running out of ports. And I says, well, why don't we just get a 16-port? And he's like, well, this will do. And I was like, yeah, but that's not the right way to do it. You want to have a single switch that's 16 ports because it's the cheapest solution. You've already sold them 1 8 and you're selling them another 8. That's costs more than just selling them a 16. They can return the 8 and we can use it when someone else's installation. And he looked at me and he says, well, why don't you just go home? I was like, no, I'm not going home. I'm right. But I'll take your 8-port switch if you want me to. And I did. I took the 8-port switch out there and connected it. It actually turned out to be a good idea because the 8-port switch that I took out there failed like 3 days later.
Yeah.
So it was like, well, I told you should have bought a brand new 16-port, but you didn't listen to me. Now we're buying a 16-port and you're paying for all the extra bills for me to go out there and spend all that time.
Yeah. Yes.
He just wanted things done when he said, just do it. You know, he didn't want to hear we're doing it the wrong way. He didn't want to hear that.
So I just learned that Blue-Eyed Scream is a cake decorator and he's making stuff for Halloween. And it's a useless...
Wait a minute. Blue-Eyed Scream is female.
She is.
You just said he is. I was like, wait a minute. What are we talking about here?
Well, I was talking about Blue-Eyed Scream because we're talking about cake decorating.
Yeah, but
I'm sorry, I didn't know. Okay.
Oh, you didn't know?
I didn't know.
I asked. I didn't ask her. I think I asked somebody else.
I mean, I don't necessarily go there with the you know. Sorry if I am misgendered, but I was going with the cake decorating.
99% of chat is male, so it's
the
one time that you're wrong, it's fine.
Well,
I hope I get forgiveness points for it. But
with guys, you know.
Okay. All right. Well, I was going to make a joke that, you know, like if you ever wanted to make a cupcake for yourself that looks like a haunted Kefki, like a haunted Kefki, send her a picture of that because she'd love you. She loves cupcakes. And she loves parrots, you know.
I saw Kefki on her stream. She's a ghost now.
Mm-hmm. She has a ghost. I think she has a vampire, because I think one of her ferrets has the fangs. And then I think she has a zombie ferret.
Hmm.
She gets a new one every couple months from Blue. So, yeah. You're welcome. How dare you?
Yeah. My favorite way of getting fired was when I was working in like a call center. They said we're taking a break for Christmas. We'll call you when it's time to come back. So apparently Christmas has lasted about 30 years. And I'm really enjoying the Christmas break, but they're going to call any moment now. I'm sure of it.
I was never much of a Halloween person. I like Christmas well enough, except for the fact that it's almost always snowing, and I fucking hate snow. But I was never much when it comes to Halloween. I mean, everyone else seems to be. I seem to be the odd man out.
I like it. It's because you get to dress up. I like to be goofy for every once in a while when everybody else is being goofy, because then you're all being goofy together.
I mean, literally, I only know about Halloween because I saw it on American TV. It was never a thing when I was growing up.
Well, I'm just letting you know, and I can't speak for Ontario because I don't have their weather, but we would, for me, I would look at American Halloween with jealousy because they can dress up in costumes. Anything I pre-plan has to fit a sweater and a really thick down jacket underneath. So you end up being a fat whatever. You want to say you're a boy.
That's why you wear a Cartman costume and it fits.
Right? Like my brother went as a dice cube one day, and I was like, "That's great," because you can wear whatever the fuck you want under a box.
You just go in blackface and say that you're Lizzo. There you go, problem solved.
But for little kids, though, they want to dress up as like Superman or Batman and some of the costumes have a little fluff to it, but you're talking Canada cold, not America cold.
Yes. I'm very glad that I do not live anywhere near Canada because it sounds fucking freezing and I hate the cold.
Like sometimes Ontario, I think, has a little bit milder because they have they have a little bit more humidity, so that retains a little bit more heat. But we get the wind cold, and yeah. So sometimes you get nice people who'll hand out hand warmers for both the kids and the parents, and then they get candy. They get.
No, I mean, I've literally never gone trick-or-treating. I've never had anyone knock on my door because they were trick-or-treating. It's just never been a thing in Australia for me. I was aware of it because obviously, like, Simpsons has a Halloween episode and various American TV shows have acknowledged the existence of Halloween. But I've never done anything Halloween-related beyond Kefki giving me a Halloween-themed avatar.
It's pretty big in the States.
It also works better if you've already kind of designed yourself for it, which my understanding of Australia is you might be able to pull that off in the cities, but like if you're set up on farms, like they really kind of plan ahead for that because you're walking a distance between farms and your outback might not have the cold, but that's under bright sun, depending on the time of day. And I can imagine it being pitch dark as shit once the sun goes down. And that ends up being scary. Like, it's not about scaring kids. So like if you had like a little thing in a city, yeah, you'd have kids having fun with that because it's just candy. But I think
if someone knocked on my door in a week's time saying trick or treat, I'm like, yeah, I got nothing for you.
Yeah, like that's kind of it. Like if you're not set up to do that kind of stuff, like that stuff you pre-plan because you're going to do that. But if you've never done that, no, because now you do have a bunch of strange kids coming up to your door.
But no, it's never happened. So I've never bought stuff specifically for Halloween. No one's ever knocked on my door asking for it. I see no reason to pre-plan for it.
I gotta tell you something, Terry. It works better on parents because the whole idea is you're dressing up your little kids so they can go out and get candy.
Yeah.
So it's you have little kids coming up to your door that are adorable as shit. Parents love that.
They do.
So, yeah, like I still get into it because I still think it's about the kids. Like, if I have fun with it, it's because I remember having fun with it as a kid. But if you're not set up for it, no, you'd be giving kids sunburns in the fear of the dark.
Yeah. He says that he hates Christmas and Halloween. I don't know if he means because of his job, it gets busy or whatever. But no, I mean, I'm obviously indifferent to Halloween. It's never been a part of my life. But Christmas is cool. I mean, the one time of the year that I see my family, it's decent enough. I'm happy. I don't mind Halloween. I don't mind Christmas.
Rotten's not wrong too. I do think a lot of especially kids still my age, like I get people with parents, like, you know, you got kids, absolutely do it for your kids. But like there's a lot of adults who are still so stuck on Halloween that I'm just like, I mean, come on, man. Little adulthood's okay. But yeah. Also, I gotta appreciate that you're not from the Philippines, Terry, because my buddy from the Philippines confirmed they start Mariah in September.
Oh God.
Yeah. September 4th.
That's a war crime.
September 4th.
No, I mean, fortunately for me, like I only hear Christmas music if I specifically choose to listen to it. Like if I go on YouTube and type, you know, jingle bells, so I can hear someone sing jingle bells. Yeah. But unless I specifically pick it out, I'm not gonna hear Christmas music.
Yeah, I mean, I go ahead.
What is the best Christmas song?
That's a tough one, actually. I don't listen to Christmas music nearly enough. There's one that I do like, is like "Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas." The one that South Park sang, that's sort of like a tribute to the voice actor who killed herself. It was also Sesame Street did a version of it. I really like that one. That's a nice song.
Jen?
I admit that I do like that Jingle Bells turns into so many other songs based off of making fun of it. But I kind of like that Rudolph was an actual story. Like, it's more of a little storyline than a song, because they're just telling you Rudolph's existence.
Yeah.
My dad, sorry, my dad used to have an obsession with joking about setting up a tree stand in front of our yard, because he said that with Rudolph shining in the night, it meant he had a better chance of getting 12 deer in one night.
I mean, if we're willing to go like non-conventional answers, then obviously like "Merry Fucking Christmas" by Mr. Garrison is hilarious. But like, assuming you mean traditional Christmas carols, then yeah, "Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas."
Mitch's little jingle is pretty funny too.
I think Bing Crosby doing Silver Bells.
Oh yeah,
very Christmassy song.
And Frosted says "Happy Xmas" by John Lennon. I don't actually know that song. I'm not a John Lennon listener. And apparently Gunsky hates that song.
Can't remember how it goes.
I think the other thing with Christmas songs is the same complaint everyone's had. It is the same 20 songs redone by everybody.
Oh yeah.
Like, if I bring up Rudolph, that's probably the most recent song in like the last 8 years.
And
I don't know.
Here says that Grandma got run over by a reindeer and Carol of the Bells. I don't know the first one, but I'm familiar with the second one. Blue White Skunk is the 12 Pains of Christmas.
I love that one.
I'm vaguely aware of that one. I know roughly that it's like complaining about something, but I forget the details of it.
Yeah.
I'm not too far off. 1964 to 1979. Like, I'm not exactly on, but for pulling numbers out of my ass.
If you want to do it, you set up the damn lights.
Yeah.
That's the 12 Pains of Christmas. It's basically the 12 days of Christmas. but each day is represented a different thing that's painful. Trying to get all your Christmas cards together and having a party, inviting people over that you don't want to invite over, that kind of stuff. It's all complaints. And the final, the first one, it goes through, you obviously 1 through 12, but the first one is this progressive problem this guy is having with the Christmas lights. First, he's like, I can't find them. I can't untangle them. Now they're blinking. Now they're off. Now the fuse went out, and all these problems that you would have with the lights. By the time you get to the 12th one, he says, finally, he gets so fed up, he says, fine, if you want to do it, you set up the damn lights. And that's the end of the story. Pretty funny, because it counts down backwards, so. Get a big kick out of it. If you get a
really good one. A really good one is "O Come All Ye Faithful," but specifically the Twisted Sister version of it, because it's "O Come All Ye Faithful" to the tune of "We're Not Going to Take It."
Oh, I was thinking of the actual religious song.
No. Well, he is singing like the lyrics of "O Come All Ye Faithful," but to the tune of "We're Not Going to Take It," including the guitar solo.
There's a lot of Christmas songs that are just very Christmassy, and then there's a lot of Christmas songs that are very religious-y kind of thing.
Yes.
So.
And then there's "I Wish You a Merry Christmas," where I'm like, is that your neighbors just trying to rob you for food?
Yeah.
Which one is that? The one I don't remember how that goes.
I wish you a Merry Christmas. I wish you a Merry Christmas. I wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Yeah. And then they talk about figgy pudding and how you better give them some figgy pudding if you don't give them some figgy pudding. I can't remember the rest, but like it sounded like we're going to rob you for figgy pudding. And then you find out the figgy pudding is gross. It's gross. They can keep it. And it's just a boiled fruit cake. You're welcome.
Yeah. 6 points out that he sings Christmas songs in March, which is true. He does do Marchmas as a thing because of his allergies. He gets allergies in March, and he sings Christmas carols as a way of taking his mind off it, I think.
I know a few English people who are probably booing me in their bed right now. They're like, figgy pudding's delicious. I'm like, I know it has a golden syrup on it. It's still boiled cake.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a fan of it, but I understand that different people have different tastes.
You would have a little bit of that, wouldn't you? Because Australia isn't free of the British fare.
Well, especially not when I was young. When I was young, it was still very English. It's gotten a lot more American over the years, but as a kid, it was basically England, but hot. It was like we were like started as an English colony, and we still had a lot of English traditions.
Beans on toast. We all do it. It's all good.
Not all of us.
Like if you look at like the historical buildings in Australia, like jail was still spelled the English way, and like no one spells jail with a G anymore. Like I don't even think the English spell it with a G anymore.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of your architecture is similar too. Like we have little bits everywhere where it's like a mixture of that, and then you go to Quebec and it is a little bit more like a French style, but it's still, clearly your European thought process.
Probably the biggest difference between Canada, Australia, and America, where America is the odd man out, because Canada and Australia were handed their independence. Here you go. We're not going to be an empire anymore. You can be your own, and everybody's nice. We had to kill people for it.
Yeah,
we were
different story.
We were bloody expensive. That's how we did it.
Yeah.
I think you're similar too. Like,
Canada and Australia are still part of the Commonwealth, so like there still is that tie to England, even if it's a lot weaker than it used to be. But
yeah, there's nobody from England on our money, that's for sure.
I'm not surprised.
Our $1 bill has got good old George Washington right there, the original Rebel, the original Han Solo right there, first dollar bill. Right, I mean, you can talk about all the other presidents and all of the bills and that kind of stuff, but that standard of here's our first basic amount of money, the $1 bill, and who's there? Georgie. You know,
it does mean you have to double check your coins if you like to collect them. Like I don't always collect every American coin, but
we do get a lot of Canadian coins down here.
Like it is a thing, because like if you get really, really old coins in Australia or Canada, like you do know, because the stamp is like we don't have the Queen anymore.
Yeah, right? Yeah, exactly.
So
every single coin I have has Queen Elizabeth on it. I assume that they've minted new coins with King Charles, but I have not got any of them in my possession because I don't use cash.
And I am waiting to get some. I'm not saying this to jinx Charles. Like, politics aside, I don't like or hate the guy. I just don't. I don't think he's as healthy as his mom. Like, his mom just managed to live a very long life, and I appreciate that he's lived as long as he has, but he's had a lot of problems. So if he lasts another 10 years, great. 15, great. I no longer have that assertion with certain age groups, you know, like they're going to last as long as they do, but his coin's going to be more rare because like he's got such a small window.
Yeah.
If you're a coin collector, regardless of how you feel about the guy, keep those.
Yeah. I'm not a coin collector, so I mean, I am not going to go out of my way to get them or anything. But I just think it's funny that like it's been that long since I've used cash that every single coin I have in my possession has Queen Elizabeth II on it.
Yeah,
women are long-lived compared to men, so.
Well, I mean, they tend to live longer. I don't think the difference is
exactly
that wide.
Yeah.
With Liz, I think she could have gone for as long as Phil went. In all honesty, she was fine as long as he was there. The minute he was gone, it was just like, yeah, I got no interest in the rest of you. Fuck you, I'm gone.
Yeah, sometimes that's people like that, actually. You know? Because that's basically what happened with my dad. Was when my grandmother died, he's like, okay, well, I'm done here, and he's like, I got no reason to stick around. I saw my mum off. Yeah, bye. And so he's like, okay, I'll stop the dialysis, and that was that. So yeah, losing the one person that gives you like a reason to live is a pretty common cause of death, at least indirectly.
That's why the last year I was just like, yeah, I hope you guys appreciate every moment, because she is telling you, like, I'm gone, man.
Yeah. Also seems to be male and female based too, because if the woman goes, the man usually goes pretty close, but if the man goes, the woman has to stick around for a while.
True.
It depends on.
There's a reason that widows are more common than widowers.
Sometimes it's the priority of the family. Like I noticed with certain old people, like if they think that they need to linger a little bit longer for their family, it's because they think if they go, they're screwing them over more. So you might have a mom hanging on like a couple more years to make sure that grandchild has grown up. You know, they're in college now, they're fine. Yeah. You know, but
I really like the line. I think it's from Kill Bill, where someone says, if you've got something to do every day, you tend to live longer just so you can keep doing it. Which is like it's true, but I thought it was a very funny way of putting it.
It also depends on the woman. Like my one of my godmother, yeah, she lasted a good 10 years. But when Uncle Lloyd passed, he had so much I think it was a mix of Parkinson's and dementia, that she was more glad for him when he passed, because he didn't know where he was. He was following her around like a baby all the time. And she was used to living with him and being active all the time. Like they would go hiking, they would go and tour stuff, like they would, you know, do boat tours, like they have grandkids, so she was always like they would be active with them. And then he just went downhill, and at that point I think it was more relief for him. You know, like like, yes, you're annoying me, but like you are not, you are no longer the person that you were last year.
Yeah.
But once he died, she didn't remarry. She had no interest in that. She's like, well, I mean, anybody my age is just gonna die, so that's depressing. And so she was just like, I'm going to keep doing what I was doing before. So she just went back to hiking and walking until she couldn't walk anymore. And when she couldn't walk anymore, she didn't want to live anymore.
Yeah, fair enough. But yeah, I do think having some sort of purpose does extend your life considerably. Like if you've got something that you want to do, then you do tend to stay alive a lot longer, just to because you got more motivation to live, I guess.
Well,
so you do.
My aunt still had like her grandkids when he passed were like 10 and 8. So I mean, right there, that's her motive. Like, well, I want to see them for at least as long as I can, and then yeah, she kept herself active.
Yeah,
like
I think I've got a fairly casual like attitude towards death, just because my dad was sick literally like my entire life. Like I never knew him as a healthy person. So like even though like I was 30 something when he died, 36, there was no point in my life where it wasn't like on my mind that this could happen. Like he could have died at any time. Like, he was that sick. He just had the genes to survive, I guess.
In a different mindset, and I'm not saying this to be brutal, because I think you've said this yourself at some point, but like at that point, like, yeah, you're always gonna miss your dad, like it's your dad, but like at that point he's been suffering for like 20 fucking years or 30 years or whatever years. Like, no, you live to see me grow up. That's great.
No, I genuinely think that when my grandmother died, like my dad's mother, he was like, okay, I've outlived my parents, so they don't have to suffer the loss of a child. I've raised my son. He's doing well. I've succeeded at that particular job. I've done everything I set out to do with my life. I can stop now. And because he was so sick, he very much wanted to stop. And I think this was giving himself permission to stop, because I've done everything that I needed to do with my life. And that was it. That was he was okay with hanging up the cap and saying farewell.
Yeah, that's why I treat every loss differently, because like I think my mom and my aunts especially, because she was the one who helped take care of my grandmother, there's a certain little level of resentment that they have towards our system, because my grandmother had an accident a couple years before she really went downhill in terms of dementia. And because of that accident, they didn't get that legal permission from her that they were planning to get. Like, my grandmother was the one pushing for it, because she didn't want to be in that position where she couldn't say, take out the cord. I'm dying. I'm done. Right. And I know that's just how it is in the legal world, but because they didn't do that, they held her on to dialysis for a week, where she was suffering from that.
Oh yeah.
And I can picture my aunt, because she like, I know they got to her with that COVID shit, because she's wearing 2 fucking masks in those rooms with my grandmother. And I'm just like, she's watching my grandmother go through that shit when it's just that fucking level, that many levels of painful. And so, like, maybe it's just another warning to other people. Like, if you know that your grandparents are already telling you, like, don't let them do that to me, get them to sign that stuff, because sometimes the medical system is cruel without meaning to be, because it's a legal thing.
The crazy thing is, my dad actually did sign a DNR, but they didn't file it properly. So when my dad went into a coma 10 years before he died, like, if they had asked me, I would have said don't save him, because I knew he didn't want to. But they asked the wrong Terry Diamantis. They asked my grandfather instead of me, and he's not letting them kill his son. So because the hospital fucked up, my dad ended up living 10 years longer than he really wanted to. And I think I said before that my dad's reaction to coming out of the coma, the sheer sort of devastation at the fact that he had not died, the fact that he desperately wished he had, that was harder than when he actually died. That was far harder on me emotionally than his actual death 10 years later.
Why don't we get off the topic of death and dying that we've been on for the last 20 minutes?
Sorry, Hammer.
And pick something a little bit
cheerful.
Well, at least not morbid.
So what's your favorite song about death?
We have some topics we can talk about, or unless you guys want to talk about something else like food or music.
Have you done the music poll? I can't see it.
Oh, I didn't do the music poll. I forgot to do the music poll. I'll do that.
Okay.
But
this is all because we were talking about the Queen.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
It's interesting the way conversations drift. But yeah, so I don't know anything about this electoral college thing. I think it sounds weird that it sounds predictable that they want to abolish it, but it sounds weird that there'd be any chance of them succeeding.
No, there's no chance of them succeeding.
Okay, good.
But they did create a bill to do it. They're going to bring it into Congress whenever we open the government back up. They're going to submit it.
Yeah, because I don't know all the details. Obviously, I'm not American, but from what I understand, like the electoral college is like the reason that the United States is able to exist. Is like the only reason they could get all of the states to agree to come together is the promise of representation by way of electoral college. So abolishing that sounds like it would be catastrophic for the entire nation.
Well, the electoral college, each state gets to start off with 2 electoral college votes, 1 for each senator, because you get 2 senators per state. And then you get more votes depending on your population. That's how many representatives you have.
Yep.
So, you can be, California has a lot more than Pennsylvania, but
of course
they still have a fair amount. And it's the idea is that you want to use this to try to make representation as close to even as possible. Even if a state has more people, well, they're supposed to be, because they have more people, it's kind of supposed to fit. But the Democrats have hated it ever since it was put into place, which is like 1775 when they came up with it.
But that makes sense because they win on population just because most of the cities tend to lean left and most of the rural areas tend to lean right. So of course they want just pure raw democracy because they'll win that.
Well, they win on the popular vote most of the time. So that's their reasoning behind it. Trump won the popular vote, but that's what one
that's a very rare.
Been having in like 18 years or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The Dems have to be pretty bad for the Republicans to win their popular vote, based on what I've seen.
Yeah. So electoral college was actually quite the stroke of brilliance because it doesn't actually fit a democracy. Democracy would be every state has 2 votes. That would be a democracy.
Yeah. Well, democracy would be every person has 1 vote, and fuck the state distinctions. It's just like California gets 20 times as many votes as the next state because that's where all the people are. Fuck you.
Yeah.
That would be democracy. So you doing 2 votes per state is still like a step away from pure democracy.
Yeah. A pure democracy would be everybody gets their own vote. And then states like California and
New York,
Washington, New York, and stuff like that, you get maybe 10 of those states together and they win everything from then on. Well, no one will ever be able to overcome them because they just don't have the population. So
yes, and Frosted is absolutely right. Pure democracy is chaotic. It's not a feasible way to run a country. You can't have pure democracy. It does not work.
It's basically mob rule.
Yes, it literally is. Definitionally, it's mob rule.
Democracy gets you lynchings.
Yep.
Democracy gets you gang rape. That's what democracy does for you.
Yeah.
If everyone agrees that we're going to rape this girl, then it's perfectly fine to go ahead and do it because
Yeah.
it's
But
democracy.
but like slavery, right? That's the example everyone goes to. At the time, everyone was in favor of slavery. Like, if you put it to a democratic vote, there were more non-slaves than slaves. So of course they're going to just vote to keep slavery because why wouldn't they?
Right. Right. That's why we're a constitutional republic, because we're based on the Constitution and it's a republic.
Yes.
People don't seem to get that.
Yeah, and I think like we're losing our democracy. Fucking good. You shouldn't have pure democracy. Well, that is terrible.
The word democracy does not appear in the Constitution. It also does not. It also does not appear in the Declaration of Independence either. And when you place,
sorry, traffic just drowned you out. It doesn't appear in what?
The Declaration of Independence.
Okay.
And also appears. The only place it appears is in the Federalist Papers, which are a precursor to our government, and in there it's portrayed as something that's bad.
Yes, it is. It is absolutely.
So Adam specifically said we have to stay away from this. This is bad. We don't ever want to do a democracy. So I mean, because I always quote the Pledge of Allegiance when I talk about this, so that everybody understands it's to the republic for which it stands, not to the democracy.
Of course, yeah.
So we've been a republic for a long time. I just constantly hear the Democrats say nothing but democracy this, democracy that, democracy. They just keep using the same word over and over again. I keep saying to myself, that's not, I mean, we follow democratic rules for certain things we do, but it's very limited, you know? So pure democracy is a really, really bad thing. So we'll see. I can't imagine it ever passing because I know every Republican and most Democrats are going to vote against it.
You would hope so.
Well, I mean, they've tried it before and it didn't go
anywhere I'm saying
either.
that's what I'm saying. You would hope that everyone would vote against it because
I think things have changed for the worse. I think things have changed better, especially for lately. Now that Trump has made some serious positive moves, ending the Israel-Hamas war and all this kind of, all the things that he's done to make sure that things are better than they used to be, tariffs, all that stuff, that's all working. So he's got a lot of momentum behind him. If they try to bring this up, once they bring the government back up and running again, if they try to bring this up, I think it's going to get smashed to smithereens. I think it's going to get 6 votes. That's the people who wrote the bill up.
Yeah, hopefully, hopefully it just gets laughed at and like no one supports it.
Really can't change something so fundamental to our government like that.
No, of course not.
It'd be like saying, let's change our government over to communism, or let's change our government over to an empire or a kingship, or let's just do that. Sorry, it's not going to work. You have to have something better than let's just do that. And I can understand why they don't like it.
Communism's never been tried, Hammer. They're just
really
let them try it. They'll do it right this time.
Yeah. And I think that's kind of the whole thing with the Democrats as far as electoral college, is it keeps them from cheating.
Yes.
So they don't like it.
Basically. I'm sad to report that the poll is tied. So if you have not voted, please do so, and hopefully we can get a clear winner without Hammer needing to cast the tie-breaking vote.
Shadow Game Club says Trump can only do so much in the next 3 years. I don't know what's going to happen after, and it'll be chaos. Trump has done an awful lot in 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's going to do an awful lot in the next 3. Holy shit. But that aside, as long as Trump doesn't really fuck anything up, or there's no major scandals where he's done, if he's, is in the Epstein files or something like that, if there's nothing really dramatic happening, I think JD Vance is going to walk right into that slot.
It seems that way. It's still early days, of course, but based on currently how things look, yeah, I'd say JD Vance is shoe-in.
Yeah, he's quite the shoe-in, because he is everything as far as Trump is concerned as being a leader, but he has none of the detriments. He's a religious man with a wife and 2 kids that are not white, you know? So, I mean, it's just like, what are you going to pick him apart about? He's come from being an absolutely poor person to being, I mean, he's a success story. He's done everything right. And I don't see where you're going to get him.
He's also been rare for a vice president because he's active. Yeah, like he's constantly doing something, whether it's promoting his party or promoting Trump or promoting their mission or their the memo that they're trying to keep going on tasks that they're trying to complete. He's constantly doing something, which I don't know that many vice presidents, you know, because they don't do anything.
No, they don't have any personality because most presidents are afraid that their vice president will show them up. Trump's got a strong enough will that he doesn't care. He picked somebody who's going to be dynamic because he's dynamic and they work well together. The thing about JD Vance is he has a sense of humor, much like Trump's. Trump's a funny guy. A lot of people don't get it, but he's a funny fucking guy. And so is JD. JD's Harry Sisson said that he was pissed about the poop thing. And JD Vance says, well, I'll talk to the president about it for you. You know, like he's not going to talk to the president about it for him. Everyone knows JD Vance is just fucking with him.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have the wit that Trump has. He doesn't come up with things off the top of his head, but you give him a Twitter account and he has some pretty good things to say. But Trump is funny off the cuff. He'll just come out of nowhere and say something hilarious.
The whole thing I still like that Trump posted on Truth Social saying, thanks to the No Kings protesters, I was worried a king was going to take my spot, but thanks to your valiant efforts, I'm still president.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. I like the, did you see him in the Oval Office when he was talking about Maduro and Venezuela and stuff like that? And he says, the reason he doesn't do anything because he doesn't want to fuck around with the United States. And he said the F word.
I did
my God. I was like, he's cursing again. I don't know of any president who cursed as much on national TV as he has.
Yeah, it makes him more relatable, but it's definitely not professional. Like it's not.
Well, it's not presidential.
It's not what most people would expect from a statesman. It's very uncouth behavior.
Yeah, Trump is not a statesman.
No, he's really not.
I still remember, I think I talked about this a couple of weeks ago, where Trump was sitting behind a podium and he was talking about whatever he was talking about, and the podium kind of shifted and kind of fell a little bit, and he stopped talking about what he was talking about, and he says, "What the hell is going on with this podium?" He says it keeps falling to the left, and he stops and he looks at the crowd, and everyone bursts into laughter. Keeps shifting to the left.
Yeah. And Shadow Game Club says Trump's a full-blooded New Yorker. He don't give a fuck. It's very true. He does not.
He does not. I really think that this whole shutdown that's going on, I don't think Trump's going to give in.
I don't think he should.
I don't think I think he really is going to do everything he can to mitigate the effects to everybody by using tariffs and rerouting money and that kind of stuff. But he's not going to let Schumer push him around. It's just not going to do it.
Good.
I have a feeling that everyone's kind of in the same ballpark too. I think Vance and Tulsi and everybody else, Patel, they all agree 100%. We're not even Johnson, Mike Johnson, the speaker.
Yeah.
I think he's 100% behind. We're not ever going to change. We'll shut the government down for the next 3 years. Fuck you.
Yeah.
I think that's where they're at.
I should point out that the poll is still tied, so Hammer, you will need to do the honors and decide on the winner. There's only a minute left, so I don't think there's much chance of chat breaking the tie, so you'll have to do the honors.
I think I actually clicked the wrong thing.
Oh, it's now a 3-way tie.
Yeah, I accidentally clicked the wrong thing, I think. I wanted to bring up the window, and I clicked on the poll, and it actually registered my click.
Well, I think end the poll anyway, and then just pick the one that you were actually trying to vote for.
Oh.
Well, I'll just do the top one, top down.
That works.
Just like Kevin. We're getting, oh, it is 10 o'clock. Give me a second here to find the music, and we'll get out of here.
And I don't know why Secure is 1% ahead of the others. It got the same number of votes, but it's on 28 instead of 27. So there you go.
There you go. There's the win. HEAVM. Okay. You guys don't have anything else before we go?
No, I'm good.
Nope.
Thanks, Fam, as always, for chatting with us tonight. If you can't wait for the next Wednesday show, remember, Minions are live every evening except Thursday, with most shows starting around 11:30 p.m. Eastern, 6 days a week. Host and start times are linked in the description down below. Don't forget about the Rumble pre-show. That stream will start generally a half an hour before YouTube. We will be back next Wednesday at 9 p.m. as usual. I hope you guys enjoyed the show, and we'll see you again next week. Have a great night, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Have a good one.